Chapter 53 of Married Thrice to Salted Fish. Although Lin Qingyu didn't regard Shen Haoshi as a friend, he still understood his experience. Shen Haoshi and Shao Cheng had known each other since they were children. He practiced martial arts to protect Shao Cheng, and he had already placed himself in the position of loyal servant. He was an obstinate man, and Shao Cheng had saved his life. So, towards Shao Cheng, he was naturally submissive and utterly obedient. In all fairness, Shen Haoshi was a very qualified servant. But what he wanted wasn't Shao Cheng's loyal servant, rather, he wanted a chess piece that could kill Shao Cheng. At present, he had tried many times, but to no avail. It could be seen that if were to use Shen Haoshi's abilities for himself, the stimulation of words was far from enough. What was needed was a powerful medicine. Met with Shen Haoshi's silence, Lin Qingyu didn't bother to go on. Show me your injury. The ointment that Shen Haoshi had taken was usually used by concubines in the palace after they have been favored for the first time. For this, it could be surmised that Shen Haoshi's injury was in some place that was too embarrassing to mention. Shen Haoshi suddenly raised his head. The redness that had just faded from his face climbed up again. He was too shocked to speak. Lin Qingyu said indifferently, "As a doctor, there is nothing I have never seen." Shen Haoshi stood up abruptly and said quickly, "It's just a minor injury. I still have something to do. Even with your physique, you have already reached the point where you had to come to the Thousand Herb Hall to get medicine. That just means that your injury definitely isn't light. There is no need for you to mind. I'm not gay." This dude, just adapting the modern words so freaking, casually. Lin Qingyu said, paused unconsciously, and vaguely felt that something wasn't quite right. Shen Haoshi almost knelt down and begged Lin Qingyu to stop talking. I mean, that's I don't know. I don't want to laugh. Because technically, that fucking trash prince forced himself on Shen Haoshi that he was so freaking hurt. So it's basically an assault. Ugh, gosh, when is this freaking trash prince dying? Shen Haoshi almost knelt down and begged Lin Qingyu to stop talking. "Thank you, Imperial Physician Lin. I would better go ahead." As soon as he turned around, he heard a male voice from outside the door. "It's already so late in the evening. Who's talking there?" Lin Qingyu recognized the voice as coming from 6th grade medical officer Hong Chang-feng. He and Hong Chang-feng had a quarrel because of the delay in delivering the antidote. Before, Hong Chang-feng was relatively restrained. Since Lin Qingyu's father was demoted, Hong Chang-feng no longer concealed his hatred for him, constantly dropping male wife in front of him, assigning him shifts in the evening, sending him to deal with tasks that ordinary people wouldn't want to do, such as seeing the worst-tempered Tai Fei in the palace or letting him take on the comparatively disgusting sicknesses. Lin Qingyu had no particular opinion on this. Huji's influence was probably rubbing off on him now. Now he felt the same towards all patients. Even if it was a slave, it was still a life. But if Hong Chang-feng wanted to pick a fight with him beyond these matters, he wasn't going to back down. Sure enough, as soon as Hong Chang-feng saw him, he put on a look. "It's already past the curfew. What are you still sneaking around the Thousand Herb Hall for?" Lin Qingyu said coldly, The Emperor has allowed me to enter and leave the Imperial Medical Office freely. Do you know the meaning of freely? Hong Chang-feng was dumbstruck, unable to reply. Not wanting to lose face, he pointed a finger at Shen Haoshi. Who are you, and what are you holding in your hand? Shen Haoshi pursed his lips. Apparently, he didn't want to reveal his identity. Lin Qingyu said, He's my friend. Shen Haoshi was momentarily stunned, looking at Lin Qingyu's profile. A gleam of brilliance appeared in his always submissive eyes. Hong Chang-feng thought he finally had something on Lin Qingyu and hurriedly blurted out, The Emperor allowed free entry and exit to the Imperial Medical Office, not your friends. Lin Qingyu, you brought in an unauthorized person in the middle of the night and you even let your friend take things from the Thousand Herb Hall. Have you no respect for the rules? Shen Haoshi opened his mouth to explain, but was stopped by Lin Qingyu. This was my negligence. Tomorrow I will go to Chu Yan Pan to bring a bramble and ask for punishment. Shen Xiang put the medicine back first. Hong Chang-feng smiled smugly. You'd better go yourself. Otherwise, don't blame me for disregarding any friendship I may have for a colleague. After Hong Chang-feng left, Shen Haoshi said, sounding guilty, I'm the one who got you involved. Not necessarily, Lin Qingyu smiled lightly. Maybe you have just helped me out. Shen Haoshi wondered, helped you out? Whether you have or not depends on how much the Crown Prince cares about you. Ooh, he's going to use this against this old freaking snob. Shen Haoshi said in a low voice, How could His Highness care about me? Lin Qingyu made no comment. We will know once we test it. The next day, Lin Qingyu was in the Imperial Hospital and Hong Chang-feng kept staring at him. During lunch, he didn't forget to remind him kindly, Imperial Physician Lin, when are you going to the Chu Yan Pan to be punished? Lin Qingyu didn't even look at him. I will go now. Chu Zhengde didn't sit with the ordinary Imperial physicians in the Imperial Hospital. He had a room of his own. Not long ago, this room had been Lin Qingyu's father's. Lin Qingyu knocked on the door, heard a come in, pushed the door and entered. Chu Yan Pan. Chu Zhengde was writing a prescription for the Emperor, and even if he wrote till his hair turned white and fell out, he couldn't come up with anything fresh or useful. He held back his frustration. Seeing that it was Lin Qingyu, naturally, he had no good expression on his face. Oh, what a rare guest. Imperial Physician Lin has never shown any respect for La Fo. For you to come see me, you must have something important to discuss. Lin Qingyu wasn't there to talk nonsense. He went straight to the point. I have a method which may make His Majesty's condition improve. You? Chu Zhengde glared at him. What could you possibly do? Without waiting for Lin Qingyu to answer, he said, Could it be that, like your father, you want to use Gu on the Emperor? Lin Qingyu said, Chu Yan Pan should know clearly in his heart whether the southern border Gu technique is of no use or not. The old fogey's mystifying demeanor diminished somewhat. The Central Plains are a long way from the southern border, and when common people hear of Gu, they immediately reject it. Also, there was that matter of an imperial concubine plotting to kill the previous emperor using Gu. His Majesty remains ruler on his land. How could the Empress and the Crown Prince possibly let those dirty things into His Majesty's body? If that dirty thing becomes a dead thing and then you smash it into powder and use it as medicine, although the effect is not as good as that of a living goo, it can still relieve the suffering from a headache. Chu Zhengde sneered. For young people, running their mouths is always so easy. There is no medical supplement, no prescription. You dare let His Majesty use a dead goo? What is the difference between this and regicide? Together with the doctor from the southern border, we have already found a suitable medical supplement and formulated a prescription. Lin Chingye took out from his sleeve the results of his work during the past few days with the southern border doctor. This is the prescription and the dosage. Chu Zhengde was stunned. He looked at Lin Chingye in disbelief, then grabbed the prescription, looking at it hungrily. Chu Yanpan can test the medicine first and then make his decision after. Lin Chingye said indifferently. Then I shall withdraw. While Lin Chingye and Chu Zhengde were talking, Hu Ji went to the Eastern Palace. Shao Chang had been troubled by the military officials' remonstrance recently and hasn't been able to sleep for the past 2 days. Wow, he wasn't able to sleep, but he was able to freaking assault Shen Haoshi. Ugh, what a freaking trash. When paying his respects to Concubine Chen this morning, Concubine Chen saw that his complexion was not good and ordered Hu Ji to go to the Eastern Palace to perform a checkup. Hu Ji examined Shao Cheng's pulse and said, "His Highness is fine but listless because of too little sleep. This official will prescribe a soothing medicine for His Highness. Your Highness should be able to sleep better after taking the medicine." Shao Cheng closed his eyes and raised his hand to signal Hu Ji to step back. Hu Ji spoke up again. "This humble official has another matter to report to His Highness." "Oh," Shao Cheng opened his eyes and said slowly, "You, an imperial physician, what matter could you have to report to me?" "Last night, Imperial Guard Shen came to the Imperial Medical Office to get medicine, but he was kicked out by Imperial physician Hong Chang Feng." Nice. They're going to get rid of this old quack. Imperial Guard Shen's injury seemed to not be light and walked very awkwardly. Later, when this humble official asked, I found out that he was one of His Highness's men. Hu Ji took out a box of ointment from his medicine box. This humble official was worried that Imperial Guard Shen may delay his medication because of this, so I brought the medicine over here today. Shao Chang was in a bad mood. Hearing that his shadow guard was being bullied outside, a sullen look appeared between his brows and he said coldly, "So there was such a thing." Hu Ji said respectfully. Imperial physician Hong was also unaware of Imperial Guard Shen's identity and thought him a thief who had made his way in. This is the reason why there was such a misunderstanding. Shao Cheng had ventured on Shen Haoshi yesterday. He didn't expect that Shen Haoshi hadn't even taken any medicine yet. What an idiot. Yes, I agree, he's an idiot. He needs to open his eyes. In the Imperial Hospital, with neck stretched out, Hong Chang Feng watched as Lin Qingyu came out of Chu Zhengde's room, looking forward to a good show. Unexpectedly, what he got wasn't any sort of show, but an order from the Crown Prince. Hong Chang Feng has been remiss in his duties and has disrespected the Crown Prince. Henceforth, he is relieved of his post as Imperial Physician, never to be appointed again. Hong Chang Feng's eyes widened. and he collapsed to the ground. Before he could even realize what had happened, he was already being dragged out by two eunuchs. Nice, one gone. We have the crown prince and the emperor. Those two are still on my list. In the blink of an eye, the generals have already been kicking up a fuss for 3 straight days. Many of the civil officials couldn't bear it anymore and they advised the crown prince to stop his investigation on General Gu for the sake of the stability of the court. After investigating for so long, nothing has been found. Instead, this matter has thrown the court into a turmoil. Insisting on this course of action truly wasn't sensible. However, the crown prince was also stubborn, full of youthful vigor. He didn't like being forced to give in, reckless and desperate to protect his majesty as the crown prince. And so, the matter was a stalemate. Lin Qingyu and Gu Fuzhao talked about this matter, and Gu Fuzhao said, grieving and lamenting, "How could they embarrass the crown prince like this? I heard that the crown prince was so angry because of this matter that he needed to be seen by an imperial physician. If the crown prince were to meet some unexpected misfortune, how am I to face the people of the land? The only thing I would be able to do is to apologize with my death." The two Tianji camp guards guarding the door silently glanced at each other. The first few times Lin Qingyu delivered the medicine, Gu Fuzhao was standing. Later on, he was usually sitting. Today, Gu Fuzhao was lying down. Lin Qingyu said, "General, get up and drink your medicine." Gu Fuzhao, who was now finished grieving and lamenting, said in a lazy tone, "Imperial physician Lin, please bring the medicine over here." Lin Qingyu brought the medicine to his bedside. Gu Fuzhao prodded his head up. He didn't even fully rise. He finished his medicine in a half-up position, then handed the medicine bowl back to Lin Qingyu, laying back peacefully. Lin Qingyu couldn't help but ask, "How long has the general slept today?" "I have been in bed since lunch." "Then where did you have your dinner?" Gu Fuzhao winked. "In bed?" Winking, this move, appearing on the grave and stern face of a tall, imposing 30-year-old man, was Lin Qingyu couldn't bear to look at it directly. "General, you can't go on like this. This would be fine if you were a sick child. Right now, you're strong and healthy. How can you stand just lying here every day with nothing to do? Don't tell you really want to be a cripple." To tell Imperial Physician Lin the truth, ever since I was able to take back my life back from Lord Yama, I have had an epiphany. What did the general realize? If a person's dream is only to be a good for nothing, then what is the difference between him and being free from all care and anxiety? ... Gu Fuzhao let out a drawn-out sigh. "You don't know how my past days have been. I wake up earlier than a rooster and sleep later than a dog. I suffer hardships from my subordinates during the day, and when I can finally sleep at night, I'm met with sneak attacks from enemy troops. There isn't a moment that I can spend in bed. I'm forced to get up and run for my life. Can you imagine that kind of suffering?" Gu Fuzhao emphasized again. "I can't stay in bed for even a moment." Lin Qingyu couldn't help but smile. "It serves you right." Gu Fuzhao looked at him and smiled, somewhat unable to help it. Though he clearly knew that the threat had yet to be completely lifted, he still called out the name that he had been thinking for as long as he had been living. "Qingyu?" Lin Qingyu's chest grew hot. He knew it wasn't the best time, but he couldn't help but answer him. Hmm? You have lost a lot of weight. Gu Fuzhao didn't want to make the atmosphere too sad, and he added with a smile, while I have gotten much stronger. Are you angry? Lynching you. Dot dot dot. He was angry, so angry that he wanted to poison Zhang and make him wilt once again. Oh, these guys. You guys are in love. Just accept it. Come on.